reading at verse 1. 54 and verse 1. Lord was angry with Israel, and he put her away. And he said, because of your iniquities, I have put you away. You know, you broke the covenant. All the stuff that you agreed to it, you broke it all. You said all that the Lord has spoken, we will do and be obedient. You said that. But then you turn around and you broke the covenant. So the Lord said, because of your iniquities, I put you away. Let's go now to Isaiah chapter 54. Read the first verse, then we'll skip. 54 and 1. Go ahead and read.
Saying, O barren, thou that didst not bear, break forth into singing, and cry aloud, thou that didst not travail with child. For more are the children of the desolate than the children of the married wife,
now,
saith the Lord.
Skip down to verse 4 and continue reading.
Fear not, for thou shalt not be ashamed, neither be thou confounded, for thou shalt not be put to shame, for thou shalt forget the shame of thy youth.
Now he's talking to Israel here. You know, this after they done went through all of the stuff that they had to go through, and then the Lord is about to take them back and remarry them again, and that will not happen until his second coming. So this is taking us all the way down really to his second coming. Read that verse again. Go ahead and read it.
Fear not, for thou shalt not be ashamed, neither be thou confounded,
go ahead.
For thou shalt not be put to shame, for thou shalt forget the shame of thy youth.
Now he say you're not going to be put to shame. Well, Israel been put to shame.
Sure enough.
And they still being put to shame to this very day. But he said you're going to forget all of that when I take you back. Go ahead and read on.
And shall not remember the reproach of thy widowhood anymore.
Go ahead.
For thy maker is thine husband. The Lord of hosts is his name.
You see who his husband, Israel's husband is? Thy maker is thine husband, and the Lord of hosts is his name. Go ahead and read on.
And thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel, the God of the whole earth, shall he be called.
The Holy One of Israel. You know who the Holy One of Israel is? That is Jesus. Go ahead and read on.
For the Lord hath called thee as a woman forsaken and grieved in spirit.
Now he said he called you as a woman forsaken and even grieved in the spirit. Go ahead and read on.
And a wife of youth when thou was refused, saith thy God.
Now he said, and as a wife of youth when thou was refused. In other words, when you was cast off. And as a wife of youth. Go ahead, because that's when I got rid of you. Go ahead and read on.
For a small moment have I forsaken thee, but with great mercies will I gather thee.
Because the Lord, what did the Lord do when he got rid of? He scattered them, didn't he? He said, for a small moment. Even though to us it's been a long time, but in the eyes of God it's only been a hot minute. For a small moment I have forsaken thee, but with great mercies I am going to gather you. Go ahead and read on.
In a little wrath I hid my face from thee.
See what it said? In a little wrath I just hid my face. Lord said I'm going to hide my face from them people and see what their end going to be, because they are forward people, children in whom there is no understanding. But a small moment I did that to you. Go ahead and read on.
He said, for a moment. But with everlasting kindness will I have mercy on thee.
But with everlasting kindness. Because when the Lord bring them back and remarry them again, he going to have mercy on them, and it will be with everlasting kindness even. Go ahead and read on.
Saith the Lord thy Redeemer.
Now, let's go over to Hosea chapter 2, and we'll begin reading at verse 1. Chapter 2, and we will pick it up at verse 1. Lord told you, he said, look here, I ain't going to retain my anger forever. Let's go to Hosea chapter 2, and we'll begin reading at verse 1. Hosea 2, and we'll start reading at verse 1. 2 and 1. Okay, go ahead and read.
Say ye unto your brethren, Am I?
Go ahead.
And to your sister, Rehulamah.
Now, you know, it's Ammon and Rehulamah. This is both other nations, Judah and Israel. That's who we're reading about here. Go ahead and read on.
Plead with your mother. Plead, for she is not my wife.
Go ahead.
Neither am I her husband.
Now he said, plead with your mother. She is not my wife, neither am I her husband. I put her away. You know, because of her iniquities, I put her away. So now she's not my wife, and I'm not her husband. Go ahead and read on.
Let her therefore put away her whoredoms out of her sight.
See, that's what she needs to do. So all the Lord is saying to them, they need to repent. Mm-hmm. And just put away them whoredoms out of my sight. And if they do that, then I'll take her back. Go ahead and read on.
And her adulteries from between her breasts.
Go ahead.
Lest I strip her naked, and set her as in the day that she was born, and make her as a wilderness.
Now he said, if she don't do that, then I'm going to strip her naked and set her as in the day when Lord say I found her naked and bare, right? Yep. Well, I'm gonna just remove everything I gave. We didn't read all the 16th chapter of Ezekiel we had. He would tell you about all of the stuff that he did here. I gave him the best of this. Houses that they didn't build. I gave him the finest of jewelry, the best of food, the best of wine, the best of everything. Now, since she ain't going to be a faithful wife unto me, I'm going to come back and I'm going to take all my stuff back. Okay. So now I'm going to strip her naked and I'm going to leave her bare just like I found. All I'm doing is just leaving her like I found. She didn't have nothing when I found her. Then I'm going to so I'm going to leave her alone and just leave her like it was when I found her. Go ahead and read on.
And set her like a dry land, and slay her with thirst.
Go ahead and read.
And I will not have mercy upon her children, for they be the children of whoredoms.
Go ahead and read.
For their mother hath played the harlot. She that conceived them have done shamefully.
Go ahead.
For she said, I will go after my lovers. They give me my bread and my water.
See what she said? I'm going to go after my lovers and give me my bread and my water. I'm the one did all that for you. He told you didn't nobody else want to have nothing to do with you. When you were laying there naked and bare, didn't nobody else didn't want to have nothing to do with you. But I looked at you and said it's a time of love. And I spread my skirt over you. And I took you and I washed you and I swallowed you and I did all of that stuff for you. Now you're going to turn around and say that somebody else did this for you. I'm going to return unto my lovers that did all this stuff for me. Lord said, didn't you know I did all that for you? Go ahead and read on.
My wool and my flax, my oil and my drink.
Go ahead.
Therefore, behold, I will hedge up thy way with thorns, and make a wall that she shall not find her path.
She's going to hedge up her way with thorns and make a wall that she shall not find her path. In other words, she ain't going to prosper. Ain't nothing she do going to prosper. She going to go after her lovers, but she ain't going to find them. Go ahead and read on.
And she shall follow after her lovers, but she shall not overtake them.
Go ahead.
And she shall seek them, but shall not find them. Then shall she say, I will go and return to my first husband. For then was it better with me than now.
Then she going to finally come to her senses. I'm going to go back to my first husband. Then was things better with me than it is now. Now, let's go to Jeremiah chapter 3, and we'll pick it up at verse 1 this time. Jeremiah chapter 3, and we'll begin at verse 1. 3 and 1. 3 and 1. So now the Lord done married Israel, and Israel done broke the covenant, and now he done put her away. But now he's going to marry them again. But he's saying, all the Lord is saying in layman terms is just repent and turn back to me. Start reading at Jeremiah 3 and pick it up at verse 1. 3 and 1. Okay, you can get it. Go ahead and read, brother.
They say, if a man put away his wife and she go from him and become another man's,
go ahead.
Shall he return unto her again? Shall not that land be greatly polluted?
Go ahead.
But thou hast played the harlot with many lovers, yet return again to me, saith the Lord.
See what the Lord say, I ain't even supposed to take you back. Really, that's what he's saying. But he said, yet, return unto me anyway, Israel. Come on back. All I want you to do is just put away all them whoredoms out of my sight and come on back home. Go ahead and read on.
Lift up thine eyes unto the high places, and see where thou hast not been lain with.
See, just look at all the high places and see where you have been laying with. All these places of worship, all these other gods that you've been dealing with. You was married unto me, so you wasn't supposed to have nothing to do with them. But you done had them on every high hill and